Happy Thanksgiving, Income School fans. This is a holiday in the United States, at least, where we're supposed to give thanks and be kind to other people and be giving. And what most businesses have turned it into is Black Friday, which is the biggest sale and consumerism of everything of the year.
Yep.
So this morning we were planning to record a review of one of you guys' websites, and there was a comment that kind of changed everything for us.
Yeah, it really stood out to us. Let's just read a little bit of the comment.
She has a website, goodnightmybaby.com. It's getting between 2,000 and 4,000 viewers per month, and she has put in an incredible amount of work into this. She says, I'm a tired single mother living off welfare. I literally get $500 a month to survive off of and take care of my son and try to give him the childhood he deserves. And said she's just not getting the kind of traction she wants with her website. And so we're going to call her up and give her a little bit of a Thanksgiving gift.
Hello?
Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi!
We saw your comment on YouTube talking about your website. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, I started it last year because, my son is a poor sleeper, and I was told to pick a topic that I was interested in. And at the time, I was reading a lot of literature about baby sleep, so I thought I knew, a lot about it, I guess. And I just didn't find any success with my website. I still haven't found success with it. I mean, ideally I want to see thousands of people, but I'm only getting like a trickle.
It looks like you have a lot of content. You've really been working on it. What is it that has you so motivated to get going on this?
To be honest, what's motivating me is the money and the lifestyle behind it. I want to have a successful website. I want to give my son a good life, and right now I'm living with relatives and I'm struggling, and I'm at home with him, and the only time I really have to work on my website is when he's napping, which is right now.
So with your site just getting started, what are you doing now to make ends meet?
Honestly, I'm getting welfare. That's all I have. And I can't work because I don't have childcare, because I can't afford childcare. And all I get is just a couple $100 to survive off of for food and diapers, and he grows all the time, so I need to buy new shoes for him. And so when I go on YouTube and I'm looking at your videos, before your video comes on, there's an ad, and it's usually this guy, I'm Calicaline or whatever, or somebody that with their they show their mansion and their car, and you're like, whoa, and they're like, you can have this too if you just, click on my ad. And I'm not asking for millions, I'm just asking for a decent income so I can, like I said, give my son a good childhood. That's what's important to me, is just being a good mom and being able to provide for my son.
Well, we have some good news for you.
What's that?
Ricky and I have spent the day looking at your website and seeing what we could do to help. And we're going to give you several things to help you get started with your website.
Awesome.
First of all, we have a team of 13 people today in Rexburg, Idaho at the Income School Creator Studio, who in about 30 minutes are about to start writing content for your website. Our entire team is going to go after it for you today. We're going to sit down and we're going to be writing for you. We're going to be producing a whole new batch of content for your website to get it started ranking.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Are you serious?
It's awesome. We're really excited about it. Also, we're going to give you a lifetime of access for free to Project 24, because as we look through your site, you're doing a lot of things right, but there are a ton of mistakes that we can help you to avoid. So we're going to give you lifetime access to that. And also, Ricky and I are going to do a bunch of consulting with you to make sure that things go right going forward on your site. We think you're really close to where you need to be for your site, and I think just with this little bit of extra help we can get you where you want to be.
That is so awesome. I didn't know you guys were doing this. I watch you guys all the time. I knew that you guys were putting together your own space and hiring writers, and I was like, that's so cool. Oh my God, it'd be so cool to be there, but I'm not a writer. And that's so amazing. Oh my
We've already done all the keyword research for you. We've identified some excellent articles that we feel very confident are going to get traffic for this site.
This is great. It made my whole year. This whole year I was just thinking, God, this whole year, nothing. I haven't had what am I gonna do? And so I'm like, oh my God, my website. I want to make my website work. So, I mean, this is just a blessing. You know what I mean? This is just such a blessing. I appreciate it so much.
All right, so now it's time to get to work. We actually spent quite a bit of time earlier today looking over the website and actually coming up with our hit list of topics. So even prior to calling her, we knew exactly what we wanted to write. We have had a flurry of messages back and forth with Freddie, our manager at the Creator Studio, and the creators are actually right now working on the articles for this website. So we're going to get that going, and we'll check in with them in just a little bit. But for now, let's go take a look at the website and see, what sort of things that we can help her to do to be able to make improvements to this website. I mean, she's put in a tremendous amount of work, and it's not gaining the traction that it should.
Yeah, she's getting 2,000 to 4,000 visitors per month, but 100% of that is from Pinterest. So first of all, we check to make sure the website is actually indexed. We just searched site:"goodnightmybaby.com" and we see it's showing up fine in search. Her articles are here. They're just not showing up high enough in the rankings.
Yep. So here's what's going on. She is ignoring a lot of the really niche topics that could allow her to actually gain credibility in this niche. And she's focusing instead way too much on more competitive topics, things that aren't allowing her to actually break in and prove that she has some authority in this space. You see, building authority with Google, it doesn't just mean, put some content out there and you don't just say, well, this person has this credential and I don't, and so I can't ever win. If you want to gain authority with Google, you have to get some wins. And she's ignoring some of the topics that would really allow her to get some wins.
All of the topics on the website right now, we would consider to be very competitive topics.
Yep.
To write any one of these, we would expect a pillar post to be written. So here are some examples of these niche topics that we want to see more content on. People are Googling things right now like baby rolls off of sleep wedge. Like, it's not just how to get a baby to sleep. It's a specific tool, a sleep wedge, to help that baby, and then a specific problem with that, how to keep the baby from rolling off of it. That's a niche topic. And when we Google something like that, we mostly see forums and low quality content. Here, she has a shot. We can win this one. And so we have somebody right now writing that article.
Yeah. I mean, others, the baby's waking up because they poop during the night. These are like fairly obvious things that any parent that's had a newborn baby has experienced these things and they've searched these things. But when you actually go to make your website, it's hard to think of these really niche topics without just a little bit of practice. You do kind of have to dive in and just spend some time looking around it and using, Google's auto-suggest tool, Bing's auto-suggest tool to try to find these topics that people are actually searching that are way more specific. Amazingly, most of these just have almost no articles ranking on Google that are actually on point in answering the question.
But we aren't just writing an article on every topic we think of.
No.
We think of way more than we're going to write. Here's some examples of ones that we thought of, but then we checked and they were just too competitive. And so leave them. It doesn't mean you can never write that content. It means not now, not with a brand new website.
That's right. So this is the number one thing holding this website back. You may think that there's just a handful of switches that we can flip to turn this site around, but that's not what it's going to take. It's going to take writing articles of the same kind of quality of what she's already writing, but writing them on the right topics.
All right, that's the main one. We're going to get into some of the other things later in the video, but let's take a minute and check in with our creators who are writing this content on the other side of Idaho.
Hey guys, so we've made some great progress on Sophia's site today. We estimate by the end of the shift that we'll have 28,500 new words, 17 new articles. So it's been wonderful to help her out. We have loved having her as a resource, just to be able to text and ask about what tips she wants in her posts. So we've really enjoyed this experience. We wish her the best with her site, and to the rest of you guys, have a happy Thanksgiving.
All right, we're back. Those guys are working hard, and we want to talk about a few more things that can be changed on this website to be helpful. Really, when it comes down to it, it's formatting.
Yeah.
Formatting is, I think, really holding this website back. So what does Google see when it sees this specific page? It sees ginormous image, another ginormous image, ad, and then this, Google considers, they say it in their quality checker guidelines, affiliate content is just considered an ad by Google. Yep. And here where it's not just recommending a product or two that they happen to like in the post, it has giant buttons to multiple places to click, and it's just tons of products here.
Yep. So just simple fixes, first of all. One, the giant image across the top, that really should go. I mean, it really is half of a page on this giant monitor. Half of the page right now is a giant image, and on a phone it's going to be the same way. It's going to take up the whole screen. And then you've got a couple more images. It's taking too long to get to content, and that's a bad user experience.
It's scrolling fatigue.
Yeah.
My fingers hurting.
This big image, if you can put it just on the home page, I think it'll look good on the home page. But I wouldn't put it, I would remove
on all the interior
from all of
pages.
the interior pages and posts to the website. Which leads me to the next point. You have a Pinterest image here, you have a big Pinterest image at the bottom. They're both very large on the page, taking up a lot of space. What I would do is I wouldn't show more than maybe one Pinterest image in the post. If you want to have a couple of options for cool images when people pin, you can put the image in the post, but then use a div tag. Just Google this. It's not that complicated. Use a div tag to do a display none. And what it's going to do is it's going to actually put the metadata for the photo in the post, so people, when they pin it, it will appear, but the image won't show up. And that way the user experience, they can just focus on the content.
Now, the number of ads, it's fine to have some ads on your page. Where all of these ads are in content, they're in the text, it starts to feel like kind of a lot. That's why on our websites we'll use something like a sticky footer or a sticky sidebar so that it isn't, as much as possible, keeping the content free of too many ads. And then when we get to the affiliate links, this is key. You have to sell your link. If you just have a big picture, or worse, this Amazon My Pics strip, the conversion rates on those are pathetic.
It's a bad user experience, but nobody clicks on that.
Exactly. If you just, instead of having it appear like this, you just in the text just say, everything changed with my baby once I finally got him a sleep wedge. I found this cheap one on Amazon. That's your link. And as soon as I gave it to them, they were able to breathe better, sleep better. It was so much better. And then just continue on. No image, no fancy formatting, anything. Definitely no buttons, because that's going to make it look like an ad. And you don't want it to look like an ad.
Google will treat it like an ad, and the user experience is that it's an ad. The last thing that I want to point out, this is a really common mistake we see with people when they're starting their new website, is they've spent some time, they've written a bunch of articles, they don't know what else to write. They're kind of getting writer's block. So what do? They start to branch out, and they start to branch out a lot. Well, when you haven't really established any authority yet, you don't have any real traffic yet on your primary niche, it's not time to branch out yet. This is a website about helping a baby sleep, and yet we're finding articles about baby safety in the water, about breastfeeding, about strollers, about a guide to baby laughter, all sorts of stuff that's just doesn't really have to do with baby sleeping. These are probably going to be perfectly fine topics for this website, maybe in another year, once you've established some real authority. Rather than do that, rather than branch out, try niching down even further and finding those topics that nobody else is addressing, but the people are actually searching on Google.
Everybody, thanks for participating in this video. If everybody will give Sophia some love in the comments here. And hey, before you go buy something for Christmas, maybe head over to goodnightmybaby.com and click on an affiliate link. Let's see if we can get Sophia's website going up.